Alright, let's try something different here. Since I'm up all night and been surfing through Tubi, and since it's Slasher September on the channel, let's do the 5 best 80s slashers on Tubi. And yes, this is going to be cheap as fuck the way that this is made. So, number 5, The Mutilator, 1984. Awesome, awesome movie. Has not really great acting, not really great anything like a lot of 80s slashers, but it has some amazing kills in this. There are some amazing gore effects in this movie, and it's one of those slashers that is pretty much all about the kills. The rest of it you can just laugh off as being cheesy and stupid, but just for the kills alone, man, this movie is one of my favorite 80s slashers, just for the kills. So if you haven't seen The Mutilator, check it out. Free on Tubi. Moving on to number 4, Pieces, 1982. Now, if you're a slasher fan and you haven't seen Pieces at this point, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Hop on Tubi right now and watch Pieces. This movie is kind of like a Spanish giallo slasher. Like, it was made in Spain. The director, didn't really do anything after this, but it has very heavy giallo vibes to it. But it is a murderer with a chainsaw on a college campus, and he's cutting pieces of all these co-ed girls off of their body and collecting their pieces. So, I mean, just from the title alone, you know exactly what you're getting into. The gore in this movie, again, is fucking amazing. The kills are amazing. And it is just an hysterical movie. It has probably one of the most random scenes in a horror movie ever made. And people who have seen this, a lot of these top 5 is going to be for people who are slasher fans casually, but haven't really dove deep into like the lesser known 80 slashers. But Pieces, man, like one of my favorite slashers of all time, on Tubi for free. Check it out. Number 3, Blood Rage from 1987. One of the only Thanksgiving slashers that we have. I think we have, what's that, Home Sweet Home? And then we have the Thanksgiving movies with the fucking turkey going around killing people. Fuck those movies. Blood Rage. All the way. Another one of my favorite 80s slashers. This is going to be kind of biased because most of my favorite 80s slashers are on Tubi. Like, most of the time. They never take them off. But Blood Rage, you have 2 twins as kids that one of them ends up hacking this guy in the face at a drive-through and blames it on the other twin. He ends up going to a mental asylum, then escapes. And that's basically the synopsis for that. If you haven't seen Blood Rage, check it out immediately. Such great gore effects, such great kills, decent acting by the guy playing the twins. Pretty good performance, actually, for a slasher film from 83. It was filmed in 83, but it came out in 87. But Blood Rage, check it out immediately. Number 2 is 1989's Intruder. Gotta love the editing and special effects I do on this channel. Intruder, 1989. Scott Spiegel directing. Who's worked on Evil Dead 2 with Sam Raimi. We have Sam Raimi and Ted Raimi in this in supporting character roles. We have Bruce Campbell, who makes a very, very short cameo in this movie. But this movie has 2 of my favorite kills in a slasher film ever. And the top one for me. Like, one of the kills in this movie. And of course, it's 80s gore and stuff. You have K&B effects working on this movie too. Nicotero and Kurtzman and Berger, who do a phenomenal job with this. But yeah, it's 80s gore. It doesn't look hyper realistic, but one of the kills in this movie, man, my favorite slasher kill of all time. So if you haven't seen Intruder, 1989, absolutely check it out. It could be a little slow at the beginning, but you got Renee Estevez there, and she was fucking gorgeous back then, so that'll get you through the first half hour or so. And yeah, Intruder, definitely check that one out. Number 1, The Burning, 1981. Now, again, like I said, most slasher fanatics and horror fanatics are going to know The Burning. They're going to know most of these on this list. This is more for casual slasher horror fans, so they can dive a little deeper into the 80s slasher genre and see all the shit that they're fucking missing, because these are fucking amazing movies. But The Burning, Cropsy the Killer, we have Tom Savini here doing effects. We have one of the coolest scenes in a slasher movie. People have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And awesome killer with Cropsy. And it is a crime that we never got a sequel to this movie, but we have like fucking 12 Friday the 13th movies. Absolutely deserved at least a sequel to this. So The Burning, those are the top 5. The Burning, Intruder, see if I can even remember these, Blood Rage, The Mutilator, and Pieces. Top 5 slashers on Tubi right now, in my opinion. I think I've covered every single one of them in the past on the channel. Pretty sure, right? Yeah, every single one of them. 2 runner-ups I want to give is coming up right here. These are honorable mentions. 1980s, Don't Go in the House, which is sort of cheating because it depends where you look. It's either 1979 or 1980. So I'm going with 1980 just for the purposes of this. It says it on Tubi, 1980. Don't Go in the House. I just had to mention it because I never hear this movie talked about. Hardly ever. And it's a fucking evil movie, man. Like, just the way that this guy dispatches his victims is just fucking so cruel, so evil what this guy does. And it's about this guy, Donnie, who was abused by his mother severely by having his hands burnt to try to purify him of evil. And she ends up dying, and he ends up snapping, pretty much. Great, great movie. If anyone hasn't seen Don't Go in the House, like with all the rest of these movies, get your ass on Tubi. It's fucking free. You have no excuse. Get on there and check it out. And one more little honorable mention, which is also kind of cheating, but fuck you, this is my channel. Taurus Trap from 1979. See, cheating again. I'll never turn down a chance to talk about Taurus Trap. So, for anyone who hasn't seen Taurus Trap, 1979, it is such a great fucking slasher movie. If you can even call it that. It has its own unique spin on it. It's like a telekinetic slasher film. That's basically all you need to know. There's a group of kids or young adults who end up at this sideshow Taurus Trap after their car breaks down, and shit happens. Is basically like what I could say about it. But yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen any of these slasher films, they are all amazing. They are all among some of my favorites ever made. And they should absolutely be viewed by anybody who's a horror fan, slasher fan, casual, hardcore, fanatic, doesn't matter. So those are the top 5 slasher films of the 80s, sort of, with the cheats thrown in, on Tubi for free. So, like I said, no excuse. Get on there, watch these movies if you haven't. And like I said, I think I've covered pretty much every one of these. So if you love the movie, check out the videos, see what you think, how our tastes align. And that's pretty much all I have to say. All right, take care.